What's up guys, I'm randomfrankp, and today we're going to be reviewing the brand new SteelSeries Apex Pro Mini Wireless, a 60% wireless version of their very popular Apex Pro lineup. So today we're going to go through it all for you guys, check it all out, talk about the pros, the cons, the features, all of that of the new Apex Pro Mini Wireless. So this release comes 3 years after the original Apex Pro and TKL released in the summer of 2019, now following the trend with the rise of gamers using a 60% layout. Also, the fact they're cutting the cable and going wireless is definitely going to be appealing to those who want a cleaner desktop. Now, getting it unboxed and checking it out, my first impressions are, to be honest. In terms of just the physical design, I was kind of hoping to see, a bit of something new or refreshing, even though that sort of comes, underneath the keycaps with the switches, but we'll talk about that more in a minute. But yes, the 60% layout here showing we just get the core keys, keeping the overall size and footprint on your desktop down to a minimum. Also real quick, included inside the box are your additional accessories, including your product manual as you've come to expect. We have an orange keycap puller, the USB-C dongle, and the extension adapter, plus a USB-C cable for charging or using this wired. Unfortunately, nothing like extra keycaps or a wrist rest is included anymore. But once you plug in the dongle and turn it on, you're met with vibrant RGB lighting letting you know it's paired. There is a switch on the top side that lets you pick between the 2.4 GHz wireless connection through their Quantum 2.0 tech, or you can switch it to the Bluetooth mode if you want to use that, or like I said, just go wired if you don't want to worry about the battery dying on you, but in that case, why even buy the wireless model to begin with? So as you can see, just taking a look at it, no extra bells and whistles. Now, yes, this is admittedly a bummer to see that this is the same pretty much design as your RK61s, your GK61s, your Matrix keyboards, your Kraken keyboards, your typical Amazon OEM 60% keyboard case. And, I really wish they would have had more of that SteelSeries Apex design language on this, like on the Apex Pro and the TKL, the nice smooth edges to the body, maybe even like, up in the corner, find some way to fit in a little volume dial or just something to make it look better and more SteelSeries-like. But speaking of which, we do have 3 pieces of branding on the keyboard, 2 on the backside in front of the case, so during use it's not really visible, including completely underneath the board, so your mouse pad even knows what board this is. Then checking out its butt, we do have 4 rubber pads in each corner to prevent it from sliding around on your desktop during use, and there are 2 feet, which also has 2 different levels of elevations you can see, which is more comfortable and ergonomic to you while you're typing or gaming. Keycaps here are an upgrade from the old super glossy ones. These are your typical, double shot PBT with some decent but subtle texture to them. Plus the characters are a nice clean font with even shine through to enhance the visual pop if you go crazy with the RGB lighting effects. Now, as a 60% keyboard, you obviously lose those extra physical keys. But as most 60% nowadays, we have side printed legends so you can see what those secondary functions still are for that key. You have your lighting brightness and your playback control on the bottom row, for example, plus your F row and your paging keys are all still here, just now printed as a secondary function. Since the layout here is a standard bottom row, good news is if you choose to pick up an aftermarket keycap set, you'll be just fine, but note you will be losing out then on those side printed legends. But popping off those keycaps are going to reveal their OminPoint 2.0 switches, because these are brand new optical OminPoint switches. Just for a reference and comparison, the original OminPoint switches, they were adjustable from 0.4 millimeters to 3.6 millimeters. So they were very fast. These are now faster. You have 37 levels of actuation, all the way down from 0.2 millimeters up to 3.8 millimeters. So super fast, super adjustable, and they're 11 times faster than your average mechanical switch. And they're built to last, because these 2.0s are rated for 100 million key presses. Like we had in the original Apex Pro, these are super smooth, very happy to see and feel that again. And the stem itself is still that milky white material with the clear housing, so you have more RGB still shining through. Stabilizers are also factory lubed, but there's a very thin factory lube job on the wire itself, but a little bit of lube goes a long way.
That's what she said.
Now you can adjust the actuation point in 2 different ways. First is actually on the keyboard itself. When you hold down the SteelSeries function key and I or O, that's what dictates the actual actuation, either up or down. And to kind of reflect that, the RGB will change to reflect the levels, which I don't find too helpful. There's 37 different levels, so the RGB is not gonna accurately tell me what exact actuation I'm at. You can then do it inside the software under the Actuation tab, obviously. Here you can control per key, so every key can be a different actuation level. And the main way to do it there is just on the left side where the graphic is. You can just adjust the slider. However, I do wish inside the software there was like a visual real-time gauge that was showing you how hard you were pressing down, so you could see what actuation level you're at, kind of like how the OLED screen does on the other Apex Pro models. Now, while we're here real quick, I'll talk about the software really quick. Obviously, your key bindings tab is for going through and you could, readjust what each of the keys are. Then meta bindings, they call it, is just the secondary function rows and stuff. So assigning what the secondary key would be. I just showed you the actuation for adjusting your actuation distance per key. You then have dual bindings and dual actuation tabs. And these go hand in hand, and they let you use one key to perform two different functions, or dual action. Now, an example of this dual action would be, say you want to use Z for both crouching and going prone. So what you would do was, the first action, you would set Z to be like, actuate at 0.5 millimeters, right? And then if you want to press it down all the way to bottom out the key, then you go prone. So halfway down you press it, you crouch, all the way down, you go prone. So dual actions sound cool. It can definitely be useful if, fully effective and you practice it and you master it in game. It's just, that's the thing. It's gonna be a bit tricky. It's gonna take a lot of time and patience to kind of fully, pull this off while you're in the heat of the moment during the game. Because at the end of the day, we're talking 0.1, 0.2 millimeters here. So being able to effectively master just that very slight difference of the stroke here is gonna be tough, admittedly. I tried, I kept failing. So it's gonna take a lot of time, a lot of repetition, a lot of practice to make this effective and useful for when you're gaming. Then the Illumination tab is pretty much the same as it's always been for the past few years. This lets you go in and change up all the RGB from whether you want it to be, like a rainbow wave. A bunch of the effects have different directions you can put them in, speeds and sizes. Want it to be just a static color or use any of the plethora of preset effects they have in. But yeah, nothing really too new here. All right, so now we're gonna do a sound test, all stock of their OminPoint switches in the Apex Pro Mini. Really not too bad overall. I'd say minimal case ping for what it is. The stabilizers sound pretty good. And just like I said before when I reviewed the Apex Pro TKL and stuff in the past, the OminPoint switches are very smooth, and that's still the same case here. Feels good, sounds good. Dare I say a bit clocky. Not clacky, not thocky, but clocky. Pretty satisfied with the sound overall. Now, I was curious, and I'm sure you are too, when it comes to modding. There are 6 screws keeping the top plate to the bottom of the case, but they're not your standard Phillips heads. They're these super small star bits, so it lets you know SteelSeries does not want you getting into this thing easily. Understandable, because there's these 2 small soldered wires on the left side of the case that keeps the board from fully separating from the plate and PCB. Inside, you can see we have their massive battery. It's over 5,800 milliamp hours, which helps contribute to that 30-hour battery life of the Apex Mini Wireless. Also, there's just not a lot of extra room inside the case for modding with that big battery there and that sort of heat pad to prevent the actual PCB from getting hot from the battery. It just doesn't leave much spare room for the extra materials. Now, since this keyboard is made for the average gamer out there, not so much the keyboard enthusiast, I will highly advise against modding this keyboard, because with the OminPoint switches being optical, it uses those infrared beams to actuate the switch. And since they're so sensitive, anything could trip and interfere with the optical switches and the PCB, which would pretty much render this useless. And I say that because I did put in the tiniest bit of polyfill inside the case on the left and right corners just to see that I heard my PC going crazy behind me. It opened like 90 windows, J and N was just being spammed, which just goes to show you that something was accidentally tripping these switches inside and interfering with the whole optical infrared light beams, which is what the OminPoint optical switches are. So I really would not mod this. So when it came to gaming, I'll be honest, I'm a TKL guy. Like, that's my preferred layout for gaming, video editing, everything. So switching back now to a smaller 60% definitely hurts in the editing space because now I'm losing on dedicated arrow keys and my other macros and stuff that I have set. So for editing, definitely not for me. Gaming though doesn't really cause too much of a negative difference. But now, with these 2.0 OminPoint switches that are super fast, is definitely reflected in game. I have my WAS keys set to 1mm, so really just barely applying any force to the keys will make it actuate. Just the fact that they can go down to 0.2 is nuts. Like, it's kind of hard to explain to you guys, but that's like resting your fingertips just on the key and it can actuate. Now for gaming, that's great. For typing and other things, not so much. This adjustment will definitely cause some typos and stuff for a while. So I would have different presets where you have it, as a standard actuation point for everything else, and then a different profile just for gaming, so they're nice and quick. But yeah, I mean, they felt good. Gaming felt just very snappy, and since it's, their wireless Quantum 2.0 tech, there wasn't any increased like input lag or anything. It all felt super smooth, just lightning fast. The switches are by far the biggest selling point of this keyboard. Now, the really generic case and all that could be kind of overlooked if it wasn't for the just absurd price point of $240 for the SteelSeries Apex Pro Mini wireless. $240 for a 60% keyboard is just bonkers, okay? And again, I know this isn't really for the like custom enthusiasts out there and all that, but you can get really decent custom 60% out there for this price and under. So the fact that it's just kind of a generic gaming keyboard, but with the optical switches, yes, that is just insane to me. Just for what this is, that is super over the top. And I know we're at this point in the market with inflation and things are always more expensive than we want them to be. But as a consumer myself, that's still just way more than I would want to spend for this. And it's definitely gonna make me stick with my Apex Pro TKL because, like I said, I'm more of a TKL guy myself. That's just nuts. And if they would have had more physical features, if it was designed better, if we had a little volume rocker, maybe if they still would have given us the wrist rest they used to include, if it had even something stupid like a damn novelty or an artisan keycap, just something to make this stand out and make it worth that price point, then maybe. But I can't say for a 60% keyboard, $240 is anywhere worth what I would recommend spending. Again, OminPoint switches, yeah, they're great, super fast, super adjustable, but not $240 great. All right, guys? So, yeah, that'll wrap it up for my review of the SteelSeries Apex Pro Mini Wireless 60% keyboard. Hope you all enjoyed. Again, yeah, I get the tones of this review were kind of on the negative side, but that's just what we have here as a product, in my opinion. If you like this review, if you appreciate it, give it a big thumbs up to show your support. Feel free to follow me on Twitter at randomfrankp. And lastly, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Hope you all enjoyed. Have a good day.